I hereby present the following detailed outline on the Enya situation as requested. Government intervention is necessary because the problem is large capital shortage at the Enya, and without a solution, 30,000 plus policy holders would have to have their pensions significantly reduced, which would have social and economic consequences. For any solution, it is important to realize that any solution is only possible with an agreement of Curaçao, Sint Maarten, the Central Bank of Curaçao and Sint Maarten, and the Netherlands, as the policyholders are residents of Curaçao and Sint Maarten. The Netherlands has declared its willingness to borrow the capital injection under the reservation of the approval of the Dutch Second and First Chamber with those loans. So as soon as one of the countries do not agree, there is no solution for the Enya situation. To come to a joint solution, negotiations have taken place on technical level between Curaçao, Sint Maarten, the Technical Committee Enya, the Central Bank of Curaçao and Sint Maarten, the Ministry of Interior and Kingdom Relations, the Dutch Central Bank, and the Ministry of Finance, the Netherlands. Based on these negotiations, it is acknowledged that the intervention is necessary because there is a major capital shortfall at Enya, and without a capital injection of 30,000 policyholders would have to be cut in their pensions considerably, which would have major social and economic consequences. On a technical level, the countries, Curaçao and Sint Maarten, and the Central Bank reached an outline agreement in which it is established that Enya will make a solvent restart with a significant capital injection. This solution chosen is considered financially sufficient by the TCE experts and assessed realistically. On a technical level, agreed in the outline, Curaçao and Sint Maarten, for their parts, will on-lend the received loans from the Netherlands through a capital injection to Enya. The agreement still needs to be confirmed on a ministerial level, and of course, under the reservations of the approval of Parliament through the budget 2024. The biggest issue at the moment is that Curaçao will have such a significant increase in debt and debt to GDP ratio that it is expected that Curaçao will immediately or very quickly exceed the interest burden norm of the Kingdom Act Financial Supervision, Curaçao and Sint Maarten, which can potentially jeopardize capital investment loans, as these loans will be in violation of the RFT once the interest burden norm is exceeded. On August 21st, 2023, the Board of Financial Supervision, the CFT, wrote an advice to the Prime Minister of Curaçao and the State Secretary of BZK on this matter and urged to reconsider the situation. In addition, the Minister of Finance of Curaçao shared on his Facebook shots of the CFT advice on the budget 2024 of Curaçao, September 1st, 2023, which indicates similar concerns of the CFT. Both advices were shared with Parliament on September 11, 2023. Based on the CFT letter on August 21st, 2023, negotiations are taking place with Curaçao to reconsider the situation. The proposed Enya loan mentioned in the media by State Secretary Van Huffelen. By letter of August 28, 2023, Parliament was informed on the latest developments regarding the refinancing of the COVID-19 liquidity loans and conditions set by the Dutch government for the favorable interest conditions as decided on by the Kingdom Council of Ministers of August 25, 2023. As indicated in the information package, for now, Sint Maarten received a favorable deal than Curaçao and Aruba, and even more favorable than offered in the first instance by the Netherlands, through the letter of the State Secretary of the Interior and Kingdom Relations on May 15, 2023. Namely, Sint Maarten is offered a full refinancing amount of the 316.4 million guilders, interest only, against a 3.1 interest rate. The loan components with different maturities, 15 years, 22 years, and 30 years for a spread repayment profile. However, the refinancing offer is subject to the condition that Enya's situation must be resolved, providing that the binding term sheets for Enya loans have been signed by Curaçao, Sint Maarten, and the Netherlands no later than October 15, 2023. This was until yesterday, September 30th, 2023. As stated before, the term sheets, once signed, are of course under reservation of the approval of the relevant budgets of the countries by the relevant parliaments. The term sheet on annual loan will be in line with the conditions of the refinancing loan. However, for St. Martin, this will be, of course, for a lower amount with a range of between 80 to 100 million guilders. The term sheet will lapse if an agreement at a ministerial level on the outline agreement has not been reached by October 15, 2023. As I mentioned before, this was previously September 30th, 2023. The impact on our national budget. Of course, the impact on the budget can be finalized once the loans are agreed upon. However, based on the current proposals, the impact on the national budget is for the refinancing. 3.1 interest on the refinancing amount of 316.4 million guilders is about 9.8 million guilders a year. Based on the collective sector report of 2021 from St. Martin, the current interest norm is 32.7 million guilders. Based on the implementation report Quarter 2 2023, our current interest burden is 14 million guilders. If we add 3.1 interest on the refinancing of 316.4 million guilders, that would be 9.8 million guilders. The new interest burden will become 23.8 million guilders. As stated before, St. Martin, for its part, will on-lend the received loan from the Netherlands through a capital injection to Enya. The loan will in principle be mirrored from the Netherlands to St. Martin and from St. Martin to Enya, meaning that the interest St. Martin has to pay to the Netherlands will in principle be the same interest Enya has to pay to St. Martin. However, the CFT will add the annual loan to the interest burden of the EFT, which will become approximately 26.6 million guilders, and as such under the interest burden norm of the 32.7 million guilders. So we still remain under the interest burden norm of 32.7 million guilders. Government's intention towards the situation in light of the September 30th, 2023 deadline is, as stated before, the refinancing offer is subject to the condition that Enya's situation must be resolved, providing the binding term sheets for the Enya loans have been signed by Curaçao, St. Martin, and the Netherlands before September 30th, 2023. The term sheet will lapse if an agreement at the ministerial level on the outline has not been reached. And to be clear, these agreements are not final, and all are under the reservation that the parliaments of the countries approve the relevant budgets. However, as indicated before, there's no solution as long as all the three countries are in agreement. At this moment, negotiations are ongoing with Curaçao as per the advice of the CFT of August 21st, 2023. On September 26, 2023, which was yesterday, the above deadline from the September 30th is postponed to October 15th. And I believe today, September 27th, Curaçao and the Netherlands have continued further discussions and negotiations as per the CFT advice. Mr. Chairman, I trust to have updated the Central Committee of Parliament sufficiently and account on his support on this matter. I would like to thank you for the invitation and look forward to any questions that you may have.
Mealtime rules. Don't serve yourself first. Do not eat with your mouth open. Don't rest your elbows on the table. Don't make noise when eating. Does not apply when enjoying KFC buckets. When we bucket together, we are as we really are.
Social and health insurance is SXM. Your social and health insurances.
Are you SXM insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXM is cardless. Request your My SZV account today and enter the virtual office of SZV. Go to szv.sx and sign up now.
SZV, yeah. Your social and health insurances.
During the hurricane season, a potential tropical cyclone can produce rainfall that can cause flash flooding and rockfalls. Stay away from flood-prone areas during heavy rainfall, such as Jump Up Casino on Emma Plain Road in Phillipsburg, ATLH Road Roundabout, L.B. Scott Road from Emilio Wilson Park until Cake House Supermarket, Zaker's Gut from Petro Plus gas station until the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Welcalaken Road K Hill from Welcalaken Road Roundabout until the Wantete Loke Roundabout, Beacon Hill Road from Sunset Bar and Grill until the beginning of White Sands Road, and Rhine Road, also known as Mullet Bay Road, after Sonesto Maho Beach Hotel to the entrance of Cooper Coy from the intersection of the University Drive until the intersection of Rio Grande. For more information on how you can keep yourself and your family safe this hurricane season, visit stmartingolf.org/hurricane. This public service announcement is brought to you by the government of St. Martin.
And in fact, the high-level political forum at the UN, you had the opportunity to hold discussions with the Secretary General of CARICOM, that's Dr. Carla Burnett. Can you give us an idea as to the nature of your discussions with this lady?
Indeed, that was a very good bilateral discussion. It was basically to touch base to ensure that the process could still continue for our associate membership, also to test whether we could be, two holders? Observers. That is not possible. So we are just forwarding on to become associate members. So that, of course, requires us having it on our budget, which, of course, since COVID pandemic had been removed. That's the last stage, so that is close to being realized. But I must also mention that I was able to have a very Director General, and that also shows very good promise for St. Martin. Assistance, collaboration, and partnerships for the goals that we require as a SIDS. I thought you were going to ask about a secretary. Important meeting as 4 prime ministers and state secretary and the other ministers from the Netherlands that were there. We met with the United Nations General Assembly Secretary General, Mr. Guterres. He is actually a former Prime Minister of Portugal. And in a meeting that we had earlier that day, the Cape Verdean Prime Minister, which is a small island with a bilateral agreement, had highlighted that they were able to go to a debt swap situation where Portugal forgave some of their debt so that they were able to make the necessary investments in their development, which SG Guterres brought forth to our Prime Minister, to the Prime Minister of the Kingdom, the Netherlands, Mr. Rutte, as well. As you know, we in the Kingdom have that discussion, as Minister was talking about the loans just now, and we feel that as SIDS, going through the development, we need to have more funds available to build up, for instance, a disaster risk fund, to be able to plan better for disasters and to invest in development that is needed for this country. Of course, a lot will rely on us actually getting those projects and programs ready, but if we can start to have that discussion about debt swap initiatives, which SIDS as multi-dimensional vulnerable states, so you have to look at more than one thing than just GDP assistance we need. That was good to hear on that level of discussion being said to discussions, part and parcel of the directionality, even though it's an at the moment, to get the ball rolling, that they see our small islands as needing assistance and not more debt. So all three of those discussions at that level gave me hope that moving forward we'll be able to have more opportunities for St. Martin to develop at a faster pace.
The following financial assistance work group. Those children run the risk of not being able to attend school. These parents should be able to receive financial assistance for their children to be able to attend school. Can the minister inform us how many parents have requested financial assistance to allow their children to be able to attend school? I can inform Parliament that as per 2022, the Ministry of Education, Culture, and Sports received one such request regarding a student who referred to the social welfare department of the Ministry of ASR to discuss the possibilities of social support. And then you have the final question of MP Westcott Williams, Charlotte Brookson Academy. Is the minister aware of the statement of the president of the Y2? Yes, the minister is aware of the statement made by the president of the Y2. Is the minister aware of what is behind the statement of the president of Y2? No. We come then to the questions of the Member of Parliament, Christopher Emmanuel. Question 1. The minister in his answer to question 9 states, see table below. When were these questions answered in the table? If you look at the answer given per school board, when did the minister receive these answers? Does it mean that these school boards still have these amount of teachers working without valid permits? Are these answers reflecting the current situation? In the table at the bottom, it states no information received to date. So from February 23 until now, does it mean that no information has been received from the institutions? I would like to receive the answers to these questions today. Mr. Chairman, the data provided during the meeting on August 14, 2023 from the subsidized school boards was consolidated in March 2023. And the data from the Division Public Education was from August 2023. Updated information from school boards as of August 2023 is presented in the table below today. I can then go to the following question, and the following questions are the questions of Member of Parliament Duncan. Is the minister aware that St. Martin teachers get the least amount of vacation days in the Caribbean? No, I am not aware of this, and we are checking to see in comparison to which systems we can, look to see this answer. What is the proposal being made to the teachers regarding vacation days? The changes, any changes that are made regarding vacation days that impact the field of education is usually discussed with those stakeholders first. I can share with the members of Parliament that I am looking at the Carnival vacation in order to see if we can make some adjustments there and make the big vacation a little bit longer. In question 4, I asked the minister to give me an update on the themes. The minister in his answer listed the themes. That is not what I asked for. I would like to receive an update on the progress of the themes. For example, has an evaluation of the remuneration been done? If not, then what has been done? What is the issue if the report themes are not updated? The update on the themes has been shared with the members of Parliament, and Mr. Chairman, you can see that in Bijlage 2. So I have provided this information. And I come to the final Member of Parliament Rumu. Her question was, when will the school repairs be completed? can we receive a status update on the progress of the school repairs? The status update on the school repairs has been sent, and Mr. Chairman, you can see that in attachment 3. Attachment 3 gives an overview of the schools that have been completed in their repairs. We can see that there are 10 schools completed, and then it also gives an overview of those schools that are a work in progress, which are busy. And then finally, in the end, you can see which schools have not yet started. And most naturally, it would then be the Charles Leopold Bell and the Sister Mary Lawrence School, because these two schools will be torn down and rebuilt in their entirety. Mr. Chairman, the following question was, when will the roof of the Dr. Martin Luther King School be completed? I can inform Parliament that the final part of the roof will be poured by the end of this week.
Your social and health insurance is Your social and health insurance is.
Are you SXV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXV is cardless. Request your My SXV account today and enter the virtual office of SXV. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
Your social and health insurance is.
With you, the new Kentaco. A combination that will surprise the most curious palates. Combining the deliciousness of KFC chicken and the practicality of a taco. With a doubly delicious ergonomic shape. Wow! Compatible with all types of bites. New Kentaco. Enjoy a double breaded chicken breast with our secret recipe. Cheese, lettuce, and tomato. New Kentaco, the innovation that's in everyone's mouth.
It's hurricane season. Are you prepared? Here are a few tips to keep in mind to help keep you and your family safe. The Atlantic hurricane season runs from June 1st to November 30th, with the peak occurring between mid-August and late October. This hurricane season, be sure to put together a go bag. A disaster supply kit including a flashlight, batteries, cash, first aid and supplies, medications, and copies of your critical information if you need to evacuate. This public service announcement was brought to you by the government of St. Martin.
Until recently, Grand Spen in St. Andrew was enjoying some level of peace. The incidents of shootings and killings over the last few days have resulted in residents being uneasy.
I feel a type of way in which cause right now no party now keep boom Sundays lockdown and the people them feel fear. You know what I mean, due to what going on in the community, because innocent people are dead. Because none out of all of the persons them will drop out so far. Not one gunman in it. And we feel a type of way now coming to say that really happened.
We have been told that so bad is the situation that some persons have been moving out and businesses have closed.
I got to tell you say it affect business because people afraid to open a business place. You know? Yeah, I hope that's a Joshua father, a film father run the shop and okay, oh, late you come, you can get something to buy there so. 2 o'clock, you come there so can get something to buy, but it's like, I mean, you know, why, John, we not even know what to go on for uncle.
Now, the all too familiar cry for peace which will allow for the free movement of residents who say they're even fearful of visiting with neighbors.
We go anywhere in the community, party on that side, a party on that side, anywhere in the community. Say, yo, you can't go certain place because you're still in danger to get caught up in a wrong place, wrong time. You get me? So really and truly, and you don't maybe all family member, associates, or friends with people. I just true, you live in a community and you go be friends and naturally everybody agree and good. And a man see all of deal with certain people where them want and them things they good, you automatically put yourself in danger because of other people, you know what I mean? So, you know, cross the line, them dry and out.
We cannot access for much of the year onto the beach to the south of the beach house in front of what was the old Chefette property. During the construction of the boardwalk, there was an issue that developed there, and the end of the boardwalk is blocked by boulders for a significant part of the year. I believe you visited down there recently, and you probably found that it was very sandy and nice, which is something that happens for only a few months of the year, but usually you cannot get onto the beach, you cannot get across the boulders without going along private land.
It is my judgment, and we've said it to them, that we cannot keep doing a piece here and then forget about the next, and a piece there and then a piece there, and that what we need is a holistic plan that allows us to be able to see how we can reclaim the beaches of the West Coast.
The challenge we are having there is that the boulders that you're speaking of are actually owned by a private individual. The people who the boulders actually belong to revetment, to the Chefette site owners. So we've got in contact with them to ask them if, we can move them or whatever. But we've also asked Beard to look, as you know, at a solution. And they recently they have 3 options. So we're going to have to submit that to the Prime Minister, but I would like to say to the Prime Minister, we also did finish the report that you had asked, and we had submitted it. We had submitted it to the PS.